I love film because I think it has the capability to take everyone's imagination, everyone's own visions, dreams, and ideals of just creative process, and successfully puts it into one venue where we can all sit down and just share. It's kind of a uniting experience. And to have something like film that can kind of encapsulate the imagination like that is truly remarkable in a way.
Filmmakers, in my opinion, they're really just modern storytellers. If you think about it, a couple thousand years ago, a filmmaker of that day was just a guy that's sitting next to a fireside telling a story to everybody who was listening. Except these days, they just have more modern equipment to actually turn it into something tangible. And I think that's just such a cool opportunity. If you really like to be that guy that sits at the fireside and tells the stories, you really should be a filmmaker, because it's really what you do, except you do it for real.
I guess one of the things is personality development, but not only in terms of the character, like actually developing a character, like a quirky character, a psychotic character, but also the fact that a person can acquire a personality from a film. So let's say you want to be funny, you want to be charming, or something like that, like the dude from Casablanca. You can totally do that from a film, and that to me is fascinating, especially like if you don't have some sort of role model, or if you're not, I guess, very social, you're not out there, you can totally acquire different traits from people in films.
Alright, so 24-hour Film Fest. So, during my freshman year, the most fun event that I ever could have had was the 24-hour Film Fest. It was so much fun. We got our prompt at 7 p.m. and then we were supposed to hand in our film the next day at 7 p.m. and we just didn't know what to do. We racked our brains for several hours, but then we came up with this amazing story concept, and we made this film in a couple hours, and it turned out so great, and everyone was so happy with our result. We were extremely happy with our result, and I couldn't believe that we made such an awesome short film in just 24 hours. And after that, I was sure I'm going to stay in this film club for at least 3 more years.
I love film for various reasons. When I walk down the street and I have to go to class, or I have to do something important, I can put some music on or look out into the distance and I know that it's a cinematic moment. I connect with other people through cinema. They may not have seen the movie or watched many movies, but they'll say something and I'll relate what they said to a scene in a movie that I've just recently watched or remembered from watching in the past. Or better yet, something that I'm creating and working on my own. I think the best thing about film is the fact that anybody can be a filmmaker, because everybody has a story to tell. And people say that, I'm not a good writer, or I don't know how to use technology, or I can't act, and I think it's bullshit. I think if you want to do something in life, reach out and grab it. That's a quote from Into the Wild.
Think about your life. You're probably not that different from other people. You wake up every morning, you have breakfast, maybe some of you have Western omelets every morning, maybe others of you just have a glass of milk or a Chobani. And then you go about your day like any other normal person going to school or work. Then you come home, maybe you have a family if you're lucky, maybe you don't. But you just live your life. If you go into a movie theater and sit down and look at the screen, you're presented with something that's someone else's. Even if it's just like a 15-minute documentary about kids going to school, it's presented from someone else's point of view. It allows you to live someone else's life, and that's why I like movies.